Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Here we are. Guys, today is such an exciting day. You can see we have a special guest. I'm Melody. We are in our CutterPillar studios. Nathan has joined us, Santa Nathan, and our very, very special guest. Nathan, I'll let you introduce.
Laurel, this is my beautiful, wonderful mother-in-law. Now, some of you might have been seeing as I've been doing a couple things with our team. There's been an amazing book created. By the way, I've been sharing your book.
Yes, he's been showing you off for a few days now.
And I will tell you this. So from this side, from my mother-in-law, I have been the recipient of a few different quilts. My children have.
Yes.
And then also her mother. And I didn't realize this. Remember, I wasn't always in this industry. I was in the financial sector.
Right.
Then I got into part of the crafting, the sewing and the quilting. And, hey, here's a blanket. You're like, oh, I don't know if I want to call that a blanket, right?
Right.
Call it a quilt. And I have the fortunate opportunity to have a couple heritage pieces. One was a gift from her mom or my wife's grandmother.
Okay.
And we received that as a wedding gift, completely hand cut, hand pieced, hand
Amazing.
quilted. And one of the great things is with the previous venture I was with, it was done on the wooden frame that we used to make for another business too, which is crazy. Yeah. So that was a gift. And then I've received several different gifts from her that we have. And my kids are always like, should we use it? So we have the used ones. And I think we took a picture of the one where Laurel Jean, she grew up on her bed, just one of the best worn quilts you could ever see.
A hole here and there. It's kind of fun.
So Laurel is amazing. And I'll just share this and then you can share your side of these stories as well. When you go to get married, you're always like, boy, how are those in-laws going to be? Right?
Hey. We all worry about that. If you say you don't worry about that, you're lying. We all worry about that.
I so leveled up. Okay, because when I saw my in-laws and I was meeting my wife, beautiful wife, and I saw her family, was like, this is amazing.
Yes.
So I felt so excited to be able to be part of the family. And the last thing is Laura, what's your last name?
Verheeren.
Verheeren. Now, I don't know if you know my name. It is Zerznosnik. And the joke always has been, I don't know how you can marry up to a more difficult name. So there you go.
But you guys, it's so funny because my maiden name is Liddell. And it's not quite as complicated as your guys's. But growing up, it was tough. No one knew. And now I'm Cloud. Mine is way easier than it used to be. So I lucked out that way too.
So Laurel, thank you for being with us today.
We're super excited.
It's fun. This is one of her first times doing live and experiencing this. How many quilts would you say that you've done over the years as you've quilted?
I have no idea. It's embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing. It's awesome.
And we'll welcome everybody as we continue to come and let us know where you're coming from. We'll bring those up. But really quick, you told us kind of a little something funny about the husband who saw the open room to the fabric. What was that again?
Yeah, I worked at a quilt store because I had to support my habit because it's not.
We have to feed our addiction somehow.
We have to feed our addiction, yes. So I'm visiting with her and she says, I made a mistake the other day. My husband came into my sewing room. My doors were open and he saw my stash. And he said, oh, I bet you have $100 worth of fabric in there. She said, yep, maybe I do.
Maybe. It is at least $100. So it's totally telling the truth. And I have all of my stash hidden in cupboards with the doors closed right now. Luckily, those cupboards are all full. And so I'm super worried when they start spilling out because, packages show up at my house a lot. And at my house, I get that, okay, is that more quilting stuff or is that more Christmas decorations? Because
one of the two.
And if I say, no, that's toilet paper for the house. He's like, finally, there's something that we all can use. So, yes.
So let us know if you're joining, let us know where you're from. If you've had an experience like that, where you've had your $100 of crafting supplies or your fabrics by chance exposed, hey, we would love to hear.
Know. We would love to
hear your stories as well. We'll try to share some of those. Eric, take a look and see what we can do. As always, thank you for everybody who's joining us live today. Thank you, Eric, who always is here helping us navigate the technical sides of all these things, helping answer questions. We'll be going through this and we'll be spending some time with a few things. Go ahead.
Yes, Eric just posted in the comments for you guys. Are you guys team show your stash or team hide your stash? I think that's a great thing to know. Which way are you guys?
I strategically show the right stash.
Depends who's in there.
Yes, it depends who comes over, right?
Who you need to share. And I honestly,
one never discusses the size of their stash. That I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It depends on what you want to show because on yours, I think you have some very beautiful your fat quarter.
Yeah. I do. My fat quarter bundles. See that I do. I do have my fat quarter bundles that I got in Houston that are on the shelves to see because they're so cute. But I have all of the quilt kits that I've purchased in the cupboards.
are down in there. Okay.
They're hiding right now.
So
Yes.
fun.
Well, you guys, this is day 9 of our 12 days of Christmas, and we are so excited that you are here. Leslie says she hides her stash, but just to keep the room neat. I live alone, so no one's judging. That's
you go.
great.
I love it.
And as long as you don't judge I judge myself sometimes on my
Hey,
stash.
don't-
But
I see this one. I love to pet my stash. I have the best story.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, she was coming home from the fabric store with her purchases on the seat beside her, and she was petting them. Well, she got pulled over by a policeman, and he asked her what she was doing.
oh, that's so
And
funny.
she owned up to petting her stash, and he made her put it in the trunk, and then he let her go.
Oh, because she wasn't paying attention to driving because she was like her stash so
She was
much.
petting her stash.
I love that. That's hilarious.
If you've been there, let
That
us
is
know
so
as
funny.
well.
Yes,
Let us know
I
as
love
well.
this. I love this. My disclaimer, but honey, it was all on clearance when I bought it. You know what? Whatever we have to do to feed our addictions. I love that. That's amazing. So yes, we are on day 9 of our 12 days of Christmas, and we have Laurel, our special guest here. We're so excited about that.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you
Happy
so
to be
much. I'm just do a quick kind of how the 12 days work really
Yeah,
fast.
let's do this really quick to keep everybody who joins with us. We'll be doing a couple giveaways.
Yes.
If you're here, what we're going to do, Laurel was kind enough to walk us through part of the process, and you're going to see how she shares, kind of beginning to end on part of a quilt block with flying geese.
Yes, which I'm scared of. So I'm very excited for this.
Stay with us because you're going to learn a few things. We're going to be able to ask her questions. So be prepared if you have a few questions you want to bring out. We'll look at
Yes.
answering those as part of this. And then, as always, we know that our goal here at CutterPillar is to help you find more love in those hobbies, that quilting, that sewing, the crafting that you do. And our goal is to help put those tools out there that make that easier. And so we're going to be demonstrating, again, a few different things. Melody, you can talk about today's specials and what we've got going on 12 days. I just want to kind of to let everybody know why to hang around with what we've got going on and the things that we'll end up discussing today. So
Yes. Thank you, Nathan. Because those of you that were here yesterday, you saw that we brought Aliso irons on, and we sort of forgot about giveaways. I was so enthralled in what Michelle was teaching us about our irons. And so we're going to do some extra giveaways today. So thank you for sticking with us on that. But today is day 9. Today, our featured product is our swivel, which we're going to be showing how Laurel used that a little bit later in the demo here. But that is already on special on the website at 20% off. So you guys can go back. Nathan's pulling up our website right now. You can go to our landing page for the 12 days of Christmas. Just click the banner on the main screen. And you can see all of the past deals that we've had each day as well. There are links to the videos from every day. So if you missed anything, go back and check that out as well. But today the swivel's already 20% off. Now, we also have a buy more, get more of a discount deal happening with our 12 days of Christmas. So if your shopping cart hits to be $200 or more, you'll get an additional 10% off. If it ends up $350 or more, you get an extra 15% off. $500 or more, and you get an extra 20% off. So if you like all the things that we're showing today, put those all in your cart. You'll get extra discounts as you go. But you can see all of our old specials. Old, I mean, they're like a week old. It's not that
Or
old.
a day
It's
old, depending if you looked at yesterday or
depending
the
on when
day
you look
before.
at it. But all the rest of them, and they're all still live. And this one is live today, so you get 20% off on the swivel rotating cutting mat today. Plus, we'll be back again tomorrow. Karen and Lindsay will be back tomorrow to do our deal for tomorrow. But that's our swivel. No coupon codes needed, you guys. No coupon codes needed for any of that. For our special this time, you don't have to remember those. You don't have to remember to put it in your cart. All the discounts will apply automatically. So just also a reminder, if you go back to any of the days where we had a buy something, get something for free, make sure you stick that in your cart. The discount will automatically populate, but you want to make sure you put the items in your cart. They don't go in automatically. So that's just a little disclaimer on that.
Wonderful. And as part of that, again, just know that there are videos. Every single one of those 12 days of Christmas, that is an image of video below it. Feel free to watch that, to see what you maybe missed yesterday, to see what you maybe missed over the weekend, to see what you maybe missed last week. Quick question is, can I buy separate items like the magnetic plates at a discount?
Yes. If your cart hits that that threshold, yes. You can always add things. Like if you already have a light board that you love and you're like, oh, I need the magnetic plates or the magnets. Oh, I want the tote bag. Oh, I want the swivel, or I want the glass mat. You can add those to your cart. And as long as your cart hits $200, you'll get that additional 10% off. So yes.
Let me bring that
Absolutely.
up one more time really quick so everybody can see. So this is the site, and there is the spend 200, get X, spend 350, get X. So those are the discounts. And again, once you hit those thresholds, anything in the cart receives those same discounts as part of the process.
Yes, and if you are choosing the items that we have on special for each of the days of the 12 days, that cart special is in addition to that. So it's a pretty great deal right now.
Yeah, so
It's our last big thing of the year, guys. It's the last one. So it's time. It's time. Get stuff for yourself.
We're going to go ahead and go through this. Before we start on the flying geese, I just have a question for you is when did you decide, Laurel, to get into doing, or you thought you were brave enough to move into flying geese? And then what would you share with us in general as we kind of get into this that we should be thinking about, or they should be thinking about if they're going to, just any thoughts you'd have as some insights that...
Well, you always start simple, and then as it becomes the obsession that it becomes, you see patterns that look intriguing. And the first couple you try probably are a little wonky, and so you start again. And it's a fun one. It really is a fun one.
It is. Like I said, I've been scared to try the flying geese, and so I'm super excited about this today. I want you guys to put in the chat if you have done flying geese or if you're scared like me to do flying geese. Let us know, because they look like they need to be very precise, and I'm still learning. I started this summer for quilting and piecing, and so I'm nervous to try it, but I'm excited to learn about it.
Now, here's the other thing. As Laurel goes through this, she brought a couple of her tools as well. We'll help share some of that insight with you. We don't have those products or all of them on our site, but we're going to let you know because she had a couple of favorite things that she's done as she walks through part of the flying geese process. And so we'll go ahead and we'll kind of move into that. It looks like we have several people commenting. Please let us know. Anytime you have a question, let's go ahead and bring that up. It says, I can relate. Mine were a little bit wonky to start with. Flying geese. Traditions, right? Tons of these.
Tons of flying geese.
Of different people.
Joy, you and I are in the same pack there. I've been scared to try, but I love this. So many geese. Yeah, it's a great block.
Very versatile.
Yeah, our goal is to have this as an interactive experience again. So please ask questions. We'll have Laurel help answer those as we move through this, and we'll just go step by step. Laurel, so where are we going to go ahead and start?
Well, let's show the block that we're working on. This is one arrangement of flying geese, and so this is the block that we're working on today, and we'll just go ahead and let you see the beginning process, which is to start with the larger blocks. Each large block will require 3 small blocks, and to do that I used my flying geese ruler that came from, where did we find this? From Lazy Girl Designs. I bought this at a quilt store, but Lazy Girl Designs is online and you can find her anywhere. She has a lot of great patterns and a lot of great rulers. And this one is specifically I use for starting. What I do is find...
So let's do this really quick. Now, one of the things that we're doing is we have the light board in front of us. Really quick, Melody, what light board are we using, just so the people know? And then we'll talk about the mat on here. That way we can show it.
So it was really cute when Laurel came here today. She has this light board. This is the Glow Classic. And she was talking about how she really loved it because she could see what she was cutting. Right. She was able to adjust the light, which was really great. We're excited about that. And then she pulled out this ruler, which I might have to find this ruler, because this ruler for the flying geese, whatever size you want, there's all these lines that tell you what to do. So she was about to do it on here, and we said, hold on, we've got something for you.
Even better. And
we swapped out the mat that comes with the light board with our clear cutting mat. And then now if you put the ruler down on there, you can see, we're going to dim that. Oh yeah, let's focus that up. You can see now all of your lines. Dim it down just a little bit because the studio lights are so bright. But now you can see those lines so much even better because you don't have the mat lines competing for your attention. Mm-hmm. And so we have these mats, you guys, on the website. These are the gridless mat. So if you already have a light board and you do the flying geese, this might be a great option for you.
Again, really quick, just as a quick note. So you're going to be watching what we're doing today as she goes through and she talks through this. This mat is the one that she ended up using as she went through this.
I did.
And maybe just quickly share, what were your thoughts as you used the light board as part of the process? And had you used and cut on a light board before?
No,
maybe to share what that experience
I
was.
have
really
to
quick.
have a light board. I can't be without it now.
So it was a new experience. And
Yeah.
then as she's done this, so I just want to let you know, this is what comes with the Gold Classic and the Premium. What we're saying is there's an additional one. She didn't even know that we had this,
No.
but we're going to use that to make sure it's easier for everybody to see visually what's going on as she does this as well. But I just want to make sure everybody knows it is a cutting mat. The light boards can be used with or without them. You can always get additional versions. And then we do have the special non-gridded one, which is ideal for the current situation that we're using.
Right, yeah.
And the last thing we'll talk about is on these, one of the other reasons they work real well is we end up with a non-slip surface on both sides. And so
Yes.
that's what helps keep everything together. But I just wanted
Yeah.
everybody to know, because we're going to switch the mat out
Okay.
based on what we're doing so that everybody can see as you now kind of share our
Yeah,
first
and I'm
processes.
actually going to work back and forth with those. Now that I've seen this, I can see how this can be really helpful. So,
Yep.
okay. So with the flying geese, it has, from A until L on here, different sizes. And so you're going to determine what size you want your flying geese unit to be. And then you will look down the ruler and find the size that you wanted. I believe with this one, I started with E. And so we need to cut one block that's color, and I use those lines on E. And you can see that we can square that up using that block. And this is where it's nice to use that swivel block, because I wouldn't have to pick that up and move the fabric.
Yeah. So the swivel is what is our special for today. So when she sets that block on the swivel and she finds where
just
she
show
needs
you.
to do it, she can just
And I
cut
can just
and
turn it around.
cut and turn, cut
Yeah,
and turn.
cut
Yes.
and turn. And it's also helpful with flying geese, if you're making a whole bunch of them, to determine, okay, I'm looking at E and it says the size that my flying geese needs to be for the small size and also for the large size. I have my little cheat sheet here that I wrote down what that measurement is. And after I've determined what the measurement is, then I use the gridded board to cut strips and then go crosswise with
Right.
this ruler, so that you're not doing them, because we're going to make a whole bunch of flying geese. And if you're doing it onesies, it's going to take you quite a while. So once you've determined the size of your block, then you can cut the strips, and then using your swivel, you can go back and forth.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. We did have a quick question Charlene put in the chat asking about the clear mats for all of the light boards. And thank you, Eric, for popping in and answering that. But we do have a clear mat for the largest, the Ultra. This mat here is for either the Classic or the Premium. We do not yet, wink, wink, have one for the Mini, but it's on our list to hopefully have soon. So there you
Very
go.
good. Okay, so now we have got our large squares cut, and then if you flip your ruler around, there's the measurements that correspond for the small units. And so you need one large square and 3 small squares. And once you have those, you're going to take your
This one, right?
small square.
Oops.
Want to do that first? Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Now let me get that. I need
The grid.
The grid. Yes.
Yep. Now you
back
can
and
swap
forth.
it out for the grid. Yep.
Right. Okay. Now I'm going to line up one of my small ones on this grid. You can see the line is already there. And then,
By the way, go ahead and put that back down there for a minute like you're doing. I just want everybody to see what she's doing here again. This is the difference between being able to see through that mat and line that up versus none of that.
Yeah.
This is how that
Right.
normally would look, right? And
this
turn
is
that back
so
on.
much better
So when you were drawing your marks, you lined it up on the grid
on the grid.
because you can see through your scratch paper.
Exactly.
And you can see exactly where you're point to point lining that up.
A lot
Gotcha.
less guesswork
Yes.
with this mat. Okay, then here's my old trusty ruler that is just about worn out. Line it up using the grid, corner to corner on your square, using the line on the grid, and then you're just going to draw a line across, which is going to become a cutting line. And then you're going to go to the side of that, and you're going to draw another line that is a scant 1/4 inch. The scant just means that you put your 1/4 inch line just barely off. And then I've got a paper under here so that when I draw back and forth, I don't leave a mark on the mat. And then I can go on the other side and do the same thing. Just line it up Line it up right on that grid. And then use your ruler to, I'm going to use my fingers here, sorry. Do your 1/4 inch, scant 1/4 inch line on the other side.
Now, really
Amazing.
quick, as you're doing this, once you finish marking this,
Mm-hmm.
when you refer to scant, what happens by adding that little bit of extra to that mark on what have you found? What does that help you do, or what does that help, and what's the value for the person who's starting to
The,
go out with
the
this?
reason for doing that is when you stitch on that scant 1/4 inch line and then you fold it over and press it, you come up with a 1/4 inch seam. If you don't draw the scant line, then your
It's slightly
seam,
short
it
because
will
you
be
got to
too wide.
push and fold and then press, and so those two
It'll be
don't
too wide.
too
Yeah,
wide.
yeah.
Okay.
Now the next thing you want to do that I learned, if you can see this, we cut just a tiny little bit off that corner.
So
Here,
do
let's
you
zoom in on that a
worry?
little
Do
bit,
you
yeah.
worry how much you cut off, or if it's straight, or anything like that
No,
when
it's
you're
just-
cutting that trim
You
off?
just cut from one drawn line to the
the other
other
one?
drawn line.
Okay.
And then the little clips go in the middle, line them up carefully with the outside. And then we are going to stitch on the scant 1/4 inch lines that you have drawn. Stitch down both of those lines.
Right.
Right. And then we're going to cut it apart on the center line. And then we get this little unit. Use our little handy dandy iron.
Now here, really quick. We're
Now,
We're gonna
here,
move.
let's go this really quick, and then Melody, what are you getting? out
so
really
I
quick so
am,
everybody knows?
guys, I'm grabbing for Laurel our tempered glass mat, which is our great crafting mat. You can do all kinds of stuff with it, but it will take the heat of your iron. So this is the perfect way to quickly press those seams. You can stay in the same area. You can do it on a light. You can see what you're doing. Now you can remove the cutting mat before you iron, but honestly, you don't really have to, because it stays, because of the feet on the mat, it raises it up a little bit. So you're able to iron it right on top of that cutting mat if you want. You don't even have to move that one out of the way.
Perfect.
But then you can iron on there.
Okay, the next step is to take our third little one that we have drawn, and we're going to center it corner to corner, and then this middle line is going to go right down the center of our other two little geese.
Let me bring this up really quick, Laurel. I just
Mhm.
had somebody just commented really quick, and they just said, "Hey, I'd never seen the clip," and I'm thinking they're talking about clipping
The
the
clip.
edge.
Corner.
Can
Yeah.
you share
Yes.
with us again why and
The
what's the value
reason,
of doing
yeah,
that?
the reason you do that is if you don't, you can come up with some little stray threads right in this little V here. And you can pull those out a thread at a time, but if you clip it, you won't get those little stray threads.
And then does it reduce the bulk, I would think, too, when you don't have the extra corner pieces?
Right.
It'll reduce the
Right.
bulk in the middle of there.
Right.
That's awesome.
The main reason is for tidiness, because sometimes threads will peek right through there if you don't cut that little corner off.
So I'm going to show that kind of again to your point. So you said
Okay.
threads will peek through here.
Yeah, yeah, real easy to have that happen. If you're a good stitcher, it still will happen once in a while. Still does.
Good to know. That makes me feel better. That's good to
still
know.
does.
I appreciate that.
Still
Now,
does.
now let me ask, how many had you done before you saw that, or was that something you found right out of the gate that if you trim those, that solved the problem?
Oh, that's a hint I found online when I was looking for measurements and patterns for flying geese quilts. So
There you go. And they're like, hey,
very
do
handy.
this. Nice.
Yeah,
That's
very
excellent.
handy. Yeah. Okay, so now we've got our third little unit, same things.
Have several people just saying those are great little tips.
Yeah, it helps.
And then, by the way, they're just saying, boy, don't you have such perfect flying geese, by the way.
She does have perfect flying geese. She does.
You measure, you have to measure really careful. Some
Yes.
blocks are way more forgiving than this one. So here again, stitch on the scant 1/4 inch lines, cut down the middle, and then we've got two like this. Now let's get our rotary board
Yes.
here.
We'll swap this out. So this is where Laurel used the rotating
This is
mat.
where I used it. Now let's look back at this one. You can see there's, I'm going to scoot this aside just for a minute. You can see there's little tails right there.
Yep.
Okay, when you get through, you're going to have two units like this, and they have tails here and here. And so what you do then is line up your little handy dandy ruler. You're going to square it up. And then if you press down, you can cut that little tail off. And then you just rotate the board and cut off this tail rotate it again,
Keep going. They're all like, you need
They
to
want
teach
you to teach
classes.
classes, Laurel.
and rotate, and then cut off that one in the center. Now it's really easy with this flying geese. I don't know if you can see this. The top of this one is slightly wonky, which happens very easily with flying geese, but there's not much there, so that will blend in really well. So now we've got 2 units like this. And if I had a brown one like in here, you would see that we need to sew these together. We're going to fold one right over the top, turn it over this way, and line them up carefully. And you can see right where that point is, that's your 1/4 inch seam. So you're going to stitch down here, and you'll go right through that point. And then when you fold it out, you get a nice point there. This one also is a little wonky. Look at that.
See, that's where the light, you can see the wonkiness on the
Oh,
light,
you
which is
can see
good
it.
so that you can fix it. But then you're like, oh, I made that one wonky. But you're
But it's-
barely wonky. But like you said, when
Yeah,
you sew
it's
it,
not enough. You've still got your 1/4 inch seam.
right, you'll
From
be
there
fine.
to
Yeah,
there, and
yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the next thing that you do is just begin to line them up. We'll put this one on this side. And here again, choose your design. There's many, many things to do with flying geese. Sew this unit together.
Really quick, as you're showing this, I did
Mhm.
see several people talking about like the more traditional, where they're not necessarily doing blocks. A lot of times, people put them in borders, or you might do it across part of a sashing,
Right.
you know, as a way to frame something as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And what you're looking at is it's a combination between adding the flying geese strategy and using those, and then you're combining in, like you mentioned, a lot of different ways that somebody can look at combining these
Mhm.
however they want to, depending on where you're at, in order to get the design or the block
Yeah.
layout,
Yeah.
which allows for a lot of
Lay them all
customization
in a
if you
line
want.
like this for borders. Combine it with, I have a book that has, probably 100 different quilt blocks in it, and it's fun to pick your favorites and make an awesome quilt. Okay, now we've got our square sections, sew them together, and then we sew these together, pressing in between. And when you get to the last seam, I press them to the side until I get to the middle one, and then press it open just to reduce bulk
The bulk.
right there in that center. It doesn't matter so much in the other places, but right there.
Do
can
you want to
feel-
make sure that as you go through your flying geese, you're pressing them always the same direction so
Yes,
that
yes.
they'll line up better that way?
Right,
Gotcha.
right, yeah. You can see these little geese have been pressed up this way. Always press the same way. And
Always
then-
press the
Now,
same way.
really quick, there's a question coming up, which is a little bit different, and this is not necessarily about flying geese, but Laurel, as you've done this,
Mhm.
and you talked about using the different boards, the question was, I'm wondering if I were to get started, which one of the
Yes.
boards to use? And I'm like, oh, maybe I would just use the swivel. One of the biggest things that we have, and we'd recommend probably one of the, like this one
Mid-size
is
ones,
our
yeah.
mid-size ones,
Mhm.
is just because you can use the mat with the light.
Yes.
So you really, the light is probably one of the most important things you're going to get.
Yeah.
There's a ton of cutting surfaces out there. You already have 5 cutting mats. You already have other things. The challenge is you don't have a lit cutting mat.
Right.
Does that make sense? You
Yes.
don't have a
Yeah.
surface
Yes.
that you can cut on with the light
Yeah.
behind it.
Yes.
That would be my recommendation.
And-
Again, you can accessorize with items like
Yeah,
our
the
swivel.
thing that's great about the swivel is it rotates on a ball bearing, so it's really nice and smooth. And if you saw when Laura was using it, when she pressed down on it, there's little stoppers, so that keeps it from rotating while you're doing your actual cutting. You can use the rotating mat on its own.
Mhm.
You can use it on top of a tabletop, and it's really nice because it's clear, and so like your color of your mat is not going to interfere with any fabric you might be. You know, it's hard to measure purple fabric on purple mats or green
Right.
fabric on green mats, so you
Right.
don't have that issue. But the thing that's so great is because it's clear, it's translucent. You can put it on top of the light, and that light will shine through.
Let's do this as well. We have a couple people asking about the blocks. So I thought what we can do is we can talk about the ruler here really quick as well, just as a general piece. And then
Someone
Laurel,
wants to buy your book, Laura.
I asked this question earlier as well, just about in general. So I'm going to do top down, and then I'm going to see if we can highlight
Answer
this
some
and
questions.
try to move in a little bit closer on this. And again, let's see if we can get that. Just so you
You might
guys
want to
know,
dim that down a little bit.
The ruler.
this is again, it says flying geese, and this is a 4x4. It just says by 4, and this is no math ruler, and this is by Lazy Girl Design. So if you were to go to Lazy Girl, I know it's not easy to see, lazygirldesigns.com. is this particular ruler. And then Laura, tell us a little bit about how you came out with the block in general, and just what are your recommendations if somebody was interested to find something like this?
Let me answer this question really quick. The size of the rotating cutting mat is about 15 inches in diameter. So you could do a really easy 9.5 to 10 inch squaring up on that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Do you know how big this is currently? Is that about a
Let's measure.
6? I'm trying to think right here. So I guess if we're going to do
So-
it from the
well,
center,
no,
it's
just
an
stick
8
the-
inch. It's an 8-inch block.
put your
7?
center in the center, because you can see when it's on the light, you can see right where that's going to be. So
Yeah, I
you
was
can
just
set
trying
that
to
right
think
on
of
there.
it.
So
I
it's
think
4,
it's
4. So yeah, it looks
Just
about
under.
8, just under 8,
Finished block would be
7.5.
so there you go. Let's do the top down. We didn't do that. Show everybody. And again, I was just trying to show you, Melody, to your point, you can do up to that 9 to almost 10-inch block in the middle of this space. This is a 8.5 by 11 sheet,
Mm-hmm.
and so you're not going to get quite an 11, but you definitely get a 10 by 10
Right.
on that as well.
Yep.
So.
And we didn't talk about it, but once you've got these all together, this is great for squaring up your block.
Yes.
So I would just put, if you're making some, there are square rulers, and if you happen to have one of those, you can put it right on top and square it up. But see, now I've got it along the side here, and so then I would just press down, and I can cut right along there. This is wonderful. You can cut on there and square that block up, and then just rotate her around and do the same as you work your way around and square up that block, and then it's ready to go into your quilt.
Yes. Yes. Perfect. Regina's question: can you use the rotating mat on mini? Not really. I mean, you could, but it would probably
It
be a
might
little
be
bit
a
too
little
big
bit.
for that. Let me pull out the
It's
mini.
really meant for our mid-size boards. We'll get the mini out
Mid-size
so
or
you
the
can see it.
ultra. It works really well on the ultra. It does
Fantastic on the Ultra.
hang. It hangs off the edge a little bit on our mid-size boards, but on the ultra, it
We'll
fits
just set it
completely
on
on there. But I don't know. It probably hangs off a little too much if you try to set it on the mini. Well,
Well, I don't know. It feels
Doesn't
pretty
rotate
well. It
maybe
doesn't
as
easy.
rotate. It's catching.
yeah, because it'll hang
Yeah.
off and catch a little bit.
Mhm.
You could try, but
Yeah, we'd recommend the classic or the new premium 2 board
Mhm.
as part of that.
yeah,
Well, I'm telling you, I don't ever want to quilt again without the slided board. I love that.
Maybe have you add in what was different when you use the board, and this is the first time using something like this for cutting on at the same time. So I
Right.
think you have a light board you've used in the past.
Well, the light board I use for I've used it for applique.
right. Which you can
So,
use this for as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
You can use this one for applique. You can trace all your patterns
But
right
was
on
it-
top of
was
here.
it for tracing in the
Yeah,
past?
it was for tracing. It wasn't flat like this one is. It totally different. This one's really good.
So now you've used this one in addition to doing applique. This was the one that you started use it looked like for alignment,
Yeah,
cutting with the alignment, the tracing, the drawing on top of part of what that was. And
Right.
so a combination that brought those all together.
yeah. You can get things more precise because you can see through. You're not guessing. You're not hoping that you've got a scant 1/4 inch. You know that you do
Right.
because you can see the lines.
Well, and that's the name of the game. It sounds like with the flying geese, like the
It's going to be accuracy and precision.
Yeah.
preciseness is the name of the game if you're going to try the
Yep.
flying geese.
Yeah.
Now, where would somebody find this pattern if they were to try to go, or what are your thoughts and recommendations that people wanted to find? Because I know you just
Okay.
had a simple answer for us earlier.
Yeah, when it was suggested that we might want to talk about this one today, I just went to my computer and put in flying geese pattern, and a lot comes up.
Yeah.
So you can just kind of scan through and see what exactly you're looking for. You're looking for instructions how to do it. You're looking for a pattern that you want to incorporate them in. There's a lot there. So
Yeah. This
Now-
is so great.
Now, let's do this. I would like to ask a question of you here, Laurel, as we do this, but really quick. Anybody else have a question you'd like to ask her based on anything that she's shown, anything that we've demonstrated? Let's bring those up as some questions. But I'd like to ask you is, having gone through this, what would be kind of a synopsis of what you would bring back together for anybody who's new? Then I want to talk about anybody who's maybe done this for a little bit and you want to give them some encouragement on some fine tuning. And then if there's a pro tip, maybe you can show those. They're all going to be pro tips, but if somebody's new,
They are pro
what's your
tips.
encouragement
Yeah.
again, based on what you think we've done with where you're at? Is this simple? Is this complicated? Is this block? Would you recommend doing something else that maybe not this? Like, what are your thoughts for the person getting started who's looking at maybe doing a few things with findies?
well, there's there's a lot of simple blocks out there that are a lot of fun to do and very beautiful. I might try a simple one first that has maybe fewer pieces, but don't be afraid. Just go in there, measure carefully. You can do it. No
Okay.
problem.
And with the light, you can measure
Oh.
easier,
Yeah.
carefully,
Easier.
right?
Very
Yeah,
carefully.
Which we
Now,
love. Yeah.
and coming back, you have somebody, and it looks like you talked about trimming.
Yeah.
Is there any other tips that you feel like that you didn't know that you found out halfway through? Because naturally now you just probably do all those as part of it. Did you learn certain things as you were moving along? Like the scant quarter, did you always know that? Trimming off the edges was another one. Is there anything else that you can think about that you have used consistently that has helped you be more precise?
Well, the trimming off the point was something that I got when I went online and looked for flying geese. I found that. So this is the first time I have actually done it.
Oh.
It works great.
Yeah.
Works great. So I would just be careful. People are sometimes not real careful squaring things up.
Right.
You want to make sure that you leave your 1/4 inch so that when you put them together, you don't cut off your points.
Right. Right.
Right.
So Pebbles has a question for you. She's curious, what is your must-have go-to item if you could only have one?
The lighted board,
The lighted board. Yes.
for sure.
The lip board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I agree with you. The rotating mat is great.
Yeah,
And it's
it is
awesome to
great.
be able to have that. But I agree with you. I think the first one that you want to do is a light board because it comes with the cutting mat. It isn't just a light board. It
Right.
automatically comes with the gridded cutting mat. So you can cut on top of your light. It's your
Oh, it's
lighted
so
cutting
helpful.
mat now.
Yeah.
So that comes with it
And I'm
automatically.
going to share this comment from you. We
Okay.
have a fan here. It's Joy Freeman just says that block is gorgeous. I want to be Laurel when I grow up. I hope I can be as good as you. So
Me
there you
too.
go.
Me too.
You
Me too.
are.
Me
Just
too.
keep sewing.
Me too. Me
It's
too.
fun.
Me too.
Warning, though. We've discussed it already. It's very addicting.
It is. Yeah. We had a
Warned.
nice conversation about it. Laurel made me feel a lot better about my addiction. I don't know if you guys saw earlier in the chat, way back when we were first talking about our addictions and how we hide our stashes and we don't hide our stashes. She said, listen, it's not the worst thing to be addicted to.
Exactly.
It could be way worse. So we're okay having this addiction.
That's
It's fine
right.
if we have
That's
to be
right.
addicted to something.
Now here's another question on the scant, and the question
Okay.
is was the scant just to the inside of the line?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So yes,
Just
to
so
the
you
inside.
can see the line, but what you're drawing on doesn't go exactly on the line. It just goes just off of it so that you can see that line.
And you're saying to the inside.
Yeah.
Great. And we had another, can you put a glass mat on a wool mat? You can.
Yes.
It would be totally fine to do that. It won't hurt either piece. You can iron on the glass mat. You can iron on your light board. You can iron on a tabletop. You can iron on your
Let's talk
ironing
about this
board,
really
which
quick,
I've done.
too, the difference between the glass and the wool. The glass is meant to use dry. That's
Yes.
one of the key things that you're going to do. And the tempered glass mat is made out of the same stuff like a stovetop is. So it's very, very rigid. It can handle all the heat you want. The recommendation is you don't always leave your iron laying on it on your surface because the idea is that it's a pressing surface
Yes.
so that you can utilize it with light through it if you need to, and or you can use that also without the light. And then the wool would be used if you're going to be steaming. You would just need to do that
Steam.
separately. and
Yes.
have that as a
Yeah, like steam doesn't hurt the glass mat. If you do have steam
just
on your
doesn't
iron, but it doesn't. It pools. The water will pool on the glass mat, and you'll get your stuff wet. So we don't advise that. But it doesn't hurt the glass mat if you do that. So
Right.
yes, I agree with Shelley. Quilting is more than just an addiction; it's therapy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. For sure.
There's a meme on online that's been going around that I love so much. It's like a woman at a craft store, and the note says, my husband told me I needed to go to therapy. And so I told him I go Saturdays for an hour and a half and he gives me money to go to therapy. And she just goes to the craft store. So I think that's fair. I think we should do that. All of us, let's do that. I think that's great.
Another quick thing is Joy was just mentioning the Premium 2 has been great because it can be unplugged. And so we do have the light board. The Premium 2 is the only one that is battery operated
Yes.
again. So that's an option that you can use and take that with you depending on where you're at. Again, right now we are showing our standard Glow Classic, our standard one that's that we use that is plugged in. It works great for all these same projects.
It does. And it's exactly the same as the Premium. The Classic and the Premium are exactly the same, except for the fact that the Premium does have an internal battery, so it can be used either plugged in or not plugged in. But having one plugged in, like we all have power. We all have sewing machines. So like power's not usually too hard to come by.
Let's do a couple things. Let me ask and say if anybody else has other questions that you'd like to ask Laurel, let's go ahead and do so about anything that she's experienced about the flying geese. Any other tips and tricks you might want to see if we can find out a little bit now? questions about the products, also let us know if there's any questions about those products. We were going to talk about a giveaway.
We need to do
So
some
let's
giveaways.
do a giveaway. And
we
then
need to do
before
some
we do
giveaways.
the giveaway, let's just bring back up what the sales and the promotions are that we currently have for you as part of the 12 days. So I bring that up while you do it. Then we'll look at doing a giveaway, and then we'll answer any last questions that people have for Laura.
Yes. So if you guys go to CutterPillar.com, all you have to do is click on that main banner that pops up on the page, and that will take you to our 12 Days of Christmas landing page. And on that landing page, every single special that we have had over these 9 days is listed. There is also a link to the video where you can get tips and tricks. You can learn more about the products. You can see all of that stuff there, and you can watch our videos. We've had a lot of fun these last 9 days. We've had some demos. We taught Keisha how to do an applique. Now I'm going to try flying geese, and I'm going to send you a photo because now I'm going to try it because I'm really excited. But today's special is on our swivel rotating mat. So the swivel mat is 20% off right now, you guys. No coupon codes needed. So you can get that automatically at 20% off. If you add more things to your cart and your cart gets to be $200 or more, you will get an additional 10% off of your cart. If your cart happens to be $350 or more, you get an extra 15% off. Or if it's $500 more, you get an extra 20% off. So if you guys are trying to decide what light board you want, throw your light board in your cart, throw your rotating mat in your cart, throw your glass mat in the cart. Remember, there is the clear cutting mats that we were talking about earlier. All of those things in your cart, you're going to get an extra discount just wherever that cart lands. So it's pretty great. So, so fun.
Awesome.
Savannah wonders, Laurel, if you prefer pre-cuts or yardage.
I prefer yardage just because I don't often buy fabric with a particular project in mind. I buy it because I love it. And so I don't know if I need a fat quarter or if I need a strip quarter.
Yes.
So I buy yardage.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. What cleaning product can I use on the cutting mat to remove starch? Linda, you can use just about anything on the cutting mat. It's really, really durable. I have used alcohol wipes. I've used Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. I have used citrus cleaner. So you can use any of those things right on there. Yeah, the grid lines are pretty solid. I mean, eventually your grid lines will wear off. If we look at Laurel's ruler here, I love it. Your grid lines are still there, but some of the color has worn off. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I love that when I saw that.
Well used.
But the grid lines on the cutting mats are pretty solid. You're not gonna have too much of an issue with losing those. I've had my original one I've had for 8 years now, and I still have my lines. So
the nice thing too is if you ever by chance use it so much that you do need to, you can buy a replacement mat.
We do have
Again, we have the
replacements.
clear mats that you can just use on top of this. Again, the non-gridded versions, the gridded versions as well.
Yep.
On the current light boards in the past, we didn't used to have those cutting mats that went all the way to the edge. And so now the entire top surface is protected with these wider, larger cutting mats as well. So I think it's great.
Becky wants to know if you have a favorite quilt block.
Oh, no.
She has probably made 8,000 quilts. I'm just guessing. I'm going to guess that number, but I don't know. But do you have a favorite?
No.
Yeah.
No.
They're all fun for different reasons. I agree with that.
Lots of fun. I love applique. I love paper piecing. It's just fun to try different things.
Yeah, I think that's great. The ultralight board is the largest, correct? I want to do it for garment tracing, pattern tracing. Yes, it is the largest. It's over on the other. Nathan's going to grab it. It is the largest. The light board itself is 19 inches by 26 inches. The lighted area is 17 by 24. And the mat that comes with that also goes all the way to the edge. So you can cut the whole entire 26-inch length on that. But here is the ultra. It is half the size, or the classic and the premium are half of the size of the ultra.
Perfect.
So you can see that. And we do have a special in our 12 Days of Christmas that includes the ultra along with the storage bag that you can get for the ultra and the tempered glass mat. The bag probably over.
Really quick.
Yeah.
You just grab that. Just so everybody sees, use the classic side. Looking at this from the top down, we end up with the mini. Let me zoom out here really quick so we can see all those because it gets bigger as we get into that. So we end up with the ultra, which is the full size. Our premiums and classics are half of the size of the ultra, and we end up with the mini that is half or 1/4 the size of the ultra as well.
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
Awesome.
Linda wants to know what size of quilt is your favorite to make? Lap size quilts, queen size quilts. throw quilts?
I probably made more queen size quilts than anything else.
Do you do the quilting part yourself too?
I do not. I love to piece.
Good for you. I love that. I love that. I want to do that too. I want to send those out. I've been quilting on my machine, but I just have a regular machine.
It's hard.
It is. And so I have all of the ideas in the world to like do all these things. I'm like, yeah, straight lines work just great. We're just going to do that. Yeah, for sure.
That's right.
So we're going to do a little giveaway, guys, because today is our swivel. We are going to give away a swivel today. So what we're going to do is we are going to ask you a question, and you're going to put a comment in there, and everyone that comments will be entered into the giveaway. Do you have an idea for a question, Nathan?
Yeah, this is a simple one, but then it's really deep.
Okay, deep thoughts from Nathan on
I
a
just want
Tuesday.
one takeaway from today. I don't care what it is. What's your takeaway?
What are your takeaway? Did you learn something?
Did you learn something new? Something you saw for the first time?
Are you excited about something? Are you going to try
pretty
flying
easy.
geese now? I'm going to
Just
try
give us a
flying geese.
comment. What's your takeaway from today? What is your takeaway?
I need to open up my fat quarter bundles, and I don't want to because they're so cute together.
Yeah, that's a difficult
Because
one.
as I'm watching you with this block that you're making, one of my fat quarter bundles that I have, I think would be so great to do. And so I'm gonna get some chutzpah and ready to do it.
Cut up those fat quarters.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to cut up some fat quarters. We'll see. Put a comment in there, and Eric is gonna choose one of our comments.
Now, really, as we're doing this before we choose this last person, we've got this going on tomorrow.
Yes.
12 days.
Yes.
And you're going to want to be with us. We're going to have a finale on Friday.
It's
going to be a fun Friday as we're going to be wrapping up and looking at several different things as we kind of finish part of our 12 days. More giveaways happening for those that join us live.
Pebble learned today that fabric stashes are $100. I think that's great. That's my favorite. I love that. We're going to do more giveaways, though. We're not going to just give away the swivel. So stay here. Don't leave.
Right.
But yes.
Swivel.
So tomorrow at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, we will have Lindsay and Karen here, and they will reveal the special for tomorrow. Thursday, Keisha and I will be back. I'm going to try to teach her something again. We'll see how that goes. And then Friday is our recap, like Nathan mentioned. So Eric is going to choose a winner. And so once he does that, we just need you to send us an email to support@cutterpillar.com. Let us know that you won the swivel today, and with your address. Yeah, need more light and clip the points. Those are the most of those. Having a scant line, that's what I think I learned even more so today that I've learned recently. Like if you just take a second and draw the lines first, I sew a lot straighter.
Well, it's really easy to get wonky if you don't have a line.
Yeah. So I love that tip. Okay, Eric, who is our winner?
Winner of the swivel is...
Oh, I can't see it from here.
Laurel Scott, it looks like. Laurie.
Oh, Lori Scott. Yes, Lori Scott. You win the swivel.
4840. Laurie
yes,
Scott.
Lori, thank you. So, Lori, send us an email to support@cutterpillar.com. Let me know you won the swivel, and we'll get that sent out. Now, I want to give away one of our clear mats.
Yeah, that's great. That's
because
a nice one.
We're going rogue a little bit. Nathan's here, and he can't say no while we're live. So we're going to give because Laura was so excited about this when she didn't know about it. She was so excited about it. So I want to give away one of our clear cutting mats. And listen, whoever wins this, you guys can let me know which light you have, because if you have the ultra, I'll send you out the ultra clear one.
Ooh, nice.
If you have the smaller one, I'll send you out the smaller clear one. So we're going to ask one more question.
And by the way, it can be used for anything. It's a cutting mat.
It is.
Use double sides on it. Has non-slip, which most other cutting mats don't have, because when you use them on a cutting board, you have to have extra safety so it doesn't move or slip. So this one has that on that as well. So
yes. So the clear cutting mat.
You have a whiteboard or not. If not, you're gonna have to get one, and then you can have your clear versus your gridded version.
Yes, I love that. So I asked you guys earlier this, for those of you that were here at the beginning, we were talking about what we were going to do. I want you to put a number 1 in the chat if you have tried flying geese, and number 2 in the chat if you have not. So either a number 1 or a number 2.
One or two.
Put that in the chat, and we'll choose either one of you. Shelly, we do make a clear mat for all of the size light boards except for the mini, not the mini yet. Yet. I keep saying yet. If I say yet enough while Nathan's here, we might get it done.
We'll have to get
it done. So put a number 1 if you have tried flying geese. Put a number 2 if you have not. I'm impressed because flying geese have scared me. There's a lot of number 1s. Flying geese has scared me, but I feel like maybe I could do it now after you've been here. I feel like maybe I can do it. So I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to try to do it. So put a number 1 if you have tried flying geese. Put a number 2 if you have not yet. And then Eric is going to choose a winner, and we are going to send off a clear cutting mat for somebody. Make sure you email us at support@cutterpillar.com. We got lots of 1s and 2s coming in, so we're going to let that roll for just a second. Yeah, so everyone wants to buy your quilt book, though. Nathan's been showing it off. I think we should sell that. I think that would be great.
That was a gift from my sister, and it's priceless.
Yeah,
to me.
it's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I loved it. I've seen bits of it. Nathan was showing it off. All of the quilts that you've given away, and everybody wrote a little note and had a photo. I think that was so adorable. Okay, so Nathan is going to choose our winner.
Oh, am I or Eric?
Eric is going to choose our winner. Sorry. We got it. Robin Pfeiffer, I think is what it says. That's kind of far from me. With my I got new contacts, and I don't know if I love them or not yet. Because they're the multifocal ones, and so I'm still trying to get used to how those work. But yes, so send me an email to support@cutterpillar.com. Let me know what lightboard you already have, and we will get you a clear cutting mat shipped off for you. Guys, so fun.
Wonderful. I was trying to find the clear mats. It's taking me a little too long. So
Okay.
clear mats are available and are part of the accessories on the website. So if you have a question, you want to add one to your cart, if you're buying anything else, go take a look at the clear or the non-gridded is one we refer to them. Cutting mats as a whole.
Either look for gridless or I think Eric might be trying to find it too. we like to be sneaky and just hide stuff because why would we want to have you find it? Yeah, the clear mats are really, really great. It's great like when you do applique on a clear mat too, because you can put the pattern underneath and you can trim on top.
Yeah.
They're super great. We're gonna get one over to Laurel's house so she can use one as well.
I gotta have one of those.
Yeah, they're so good. They're so good. But as always, guys, if you have any other questions, you can always reach us at support@cutterpillar.com. This has been so fun, Laurel. We can't thank you enough for coming in. It is so lovely to meet you. This has been so great. And we'll be back tomorrow. Karen and Lindsay will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right? And they're going to show off our next 12 days of Christmas. Tomorrow's day 10.
Thank you so much for being with us, Laura. It's
Thank
been
you
a
for
pleasure.
inviting me.
It's been fun. I know when I asked her first, this was about a week and a half.
A week and a half or so ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Melody was like, do you know anybody? I'm like, I will ask my mother-in-law. She has done a lot of quilts, and we'll see if she's up to it. And so it took her a little bit. Thank you very much for spending some time helping work through this, work through part of the strategies, and then thanks for sharing that.
And all the tips have been awesome.
We've been able to learn, and we've been able to share with anybody. So thank you again for being here. We feel privileged to have you willing to join the two crazies of us. As
Thank
Eric
you.
and the backers.
Been
We're
fun.
doing more to demonstrate products and help people with what they love, quilting, sewing, or crafting. So
Yep.
thank you, everybody, for being with us.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day.